Alban, welcome in, sir.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I was taking a rest of that. Just right there.
It's all good, man. It's all good. I wanted to wrap up in like a half hour or so, but
Yeah,
this will work. Either mic is
yeah.
live and it's working, so you can use one of those. Just speak into the
On?
mic there. Yeah, the mic is working. It's already on.
Okay.
It's everything. So yeah. Um. So yeah, thank you. Welcome to the platform. Um. For folks that don't know, this is Alban. Alban is man. There isn't enough words to describe Alban, and as far as what he means to myself and this community. But since I've been back, he's one of the what do I want to say? One of the most influential people I see out here, and one of the most committed people that I see out here. He's part of any board or any committee that needs somebody to be part of. He's part of it. He supports everything. I've been trying to do this podcast thing for a while. The first time he had an opportunity to come down and sit and have a conversation, he was there. He's working on book number 3 or number 2 right now. Book number 2 right now. He's helped other community members get their books together. If there's an open mic night, he's here for it. If there's a community event, he's there for it. He's ready to speak. He's ready to do his poetry. He is just an all-out community supporter, and it inspires the heck out of me on a day-to-day basis to see that and help me push forward to keep pushing. So, to the Culture on Culture, let's start the conversation podcast. Welcome Alban Olive to the platform, everybody.
Yeah, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here on this beautiful day. It's been a while since we had a podcast, but I do think this year would be inspiring. And on behalf of AP and on behalf of the community, I must say thank you for welcoming me to your podcast. Thank you very much.
No, absolutely, man. As I was just saying to Jen, just before you came in, I think it's extremely important that platforms like so are available so that we can highlight the people that actually make up the community. A lot of times we have a representative speaking for us, um, and a lot of times they're speaking in platforms where they kind of gotta dance around issues and topics and whatnot. And I feel that it's important we have a space where we can just speak openly, directly, and
It's an important point because, for example, like APCC is like the heart of the community, the heartbeat of the community, and then having like your studio inside it, it's inspiring to the community. It's a form whereby it's bringing the community together, and as you say, going back to media influence, for example, your podcast are an example of media influence towards the community, and so it brings people together. It helps spread the word. So it's very inspiring, and cheers for the achievement that you have done for the community.
I appreciate that, and the excellent segue into what the topic for the conversation is, which is media influence. Um, when Mosin invited me to come back to AP and build a studio, I was extremely excited about it. But the one thing that I've struggled with is having it used as much as I was hoping and envisioning that it was. And I feel like um, there's an intimidation factor when it comes to the studio, in the sense of people are shy about singing or recording or rapping or doing a thing, and how public will perceive them. Um, and it's amazing at how intimidated people are in being that in that platform, but at the same time, um, how much they disregard how much that influence actually has on them on a daily basis.
Yeah, you see, the characteristics of the society, it's different characteristic. For example, let's say in terms of religion. There are different factors of religion.
Mm-hmm.
But going back to the point, I do think like it's wise, that most people should, put aside the shyness, because remember, like in the days of old, in the days of time, there were no social media, whereby the message were only communicated, like for example, our ancestors in Ghana and parts of Africa, or the communication used to communicate through the talking drum. The song of the
Mm-hmm.
drum spread the message. But today's where media is there, and it bring a whole different ball game. You know,
Mm-hmm.
it's there for people to explore, but I see where you come. Yet there are some people who are shy,
Mm-hmm.
because, for example, like a form of media influence again. Like for example, like I does the computer literacy class,
Okay.
and there are things which I don't know, but then it's wise for me to ask the teacher what is, for example, what is this, what is that. So,
Absolutely.
for example, like the studio, some people know the studio are there, but they don't have the drive,
Yeah.
But the only way they could be take advantage of it by, for example, like we community leaders, like we the
Mm-hmm.
youth, come in and bring forth our ideas to the podcast. So, for example, like they see, okay, hey, also have this podcast. They see, hey, a young youth, or they see an elder, or they see a
Mm-hmm.
different person. But hey, this could have an influence, and whereby it could drive them so that they could open up to the public and,
Mm-hmm.
for example, come to your podcast. Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
I, again, like I was just mentioning to her, that the main thing behind the podcast is because I was like, all right, I can understand people's intimidation to go into the studio and rap
Mhm.
or to record a song or whatnot. Um, but we can definitely sit down and talk.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? We
Yeah.
can definitely sit
Sit
down
down
and
and
have a
talk. Yeah.
conversation. Um, and that's what I'm hoping is it inspires more folks to sit down and have a conversation. But then the video aspect comes in and they're like, oh, but who's gonna watch it?
Mhm.
Where's it gonna be seen?
Yeah.
And I think that's again going back or sticking with media influence. Um, the disassociation with what's real
Mhm.
versus what is for the camera has people think like embarrassed about their lives.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
they're embarrassed about how people will view their thoughts and how when the more I talk to people, we're all the same. We all have the same fears. We all have the same goals, ideas. This
Yeah.
that they might vary slightly, but genuinely we want the same things.
Yeah, that's where you see communication plays a vital role,
Mm-hmm.
because social media attracts lots of audience. For example, in terms of advertisement, for
Mm-hmm.
example, like there might be a program and the throw advertisement. Like someone might be eating cookies and so on. So all this, well, some people like cookies, some people like, so during the commercial, they remain, they watch the whole session. So social media, like, yeah, it got the advantage, and it got its disadvantage. But overall, the better communication is in personal communication. You see, like how we are one on one.
Absolutely.
It's in personal, not this watching the social media. Although it have the advantage and the disadvantage, but the most practical form is by you know personal, one on one communication.
I think it's also way more easy, in my opinion. It's way easier to relate to somebody. Like me and you, we sit, we talk. We have definitely something in common.
Yeah.
Alexandra Park community.
Yeah.
Right, so off hop, we can relate on that aspect. We can relate on issues pertaining to that area and what the community center goes through and certain youth and what their drama and conflicts can go to because we're around. We can witness it. Versus,
Mm-hmm.
I might be on social media following a celebrity or whatnot, but I don't know that celebrity from a can of paint. I don't know their personality.
Yeah.
I don't know the surroundings that they might be into. I can relate to a certain level, but there's
Yeah.
only so far that it'll go.
Mm-hmm.
But with that being said, a lot of folks, even myself to a point in time, held what these certain celebrities say to such a high regard,
Yeah,
even though it might not affect anything that has to do with me,
I understand.
right?
And you see, like, for example, the culture and the cultural heritage, social media have an influence on the culture and because, for example, like our community are made up of multicultural,
Mm-hmm.
and for example, I guess as many of them watch podcasts on different, you know, um, on different platforms
Mm-hmm.
and with different cultures. Because, for example, like my friend, he from Afghanistan. He watch most of the Afghanistan news and
Mm-hmm.
different stuff like that, and then you know, sometimes he translate, from Afghanistan to English, what it means, because most of it, what it mean,
Mm-hmm.
just like the lady was, saying different, So it's, like social media now, like it, it helps, build a form of cultural heritage
Mm-hmm.
in the community. You see, because the point is like everybody go on social media.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
I feel like, so I'm never somebody who's completely for, completely against anything, right? And social media definitely has its advantages, and it also has its what I'd call disadvantages,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Um, and I think right now, and a big part of the reason why I want this platform is, um, I feel like a lot of the platforms are plagued right now with the loudest voices being the ones who don't really have anything
Mhm.
positive to contribute to the conversations.
Yeah.
And the people that really do have positive things to contribute tend to stay quiet in the background,
Hmm.
right? And I'm hoping that platforms like this and conversations like this encourage folks to actually step to the forefront and bring forth their ideas.
Yeah, because you see again going back to again to the media influence, for example.
Mhm.
One on one is reading person, you know.
Mhm.
One on one, like our podcast, that's where one tell the story,
Mhm.
that's where one tell the history of the community, it's whereby when one talk about empathy, you know talk about freedom, you know so for example your podcast, we have the right of expression
Mhm.
to bring our feelings and to bring our touch, so that what we talk about is educational to the community and beyond. And with that, as we're going back to the foundation of our talk, getting our people to come to our podcast, getting them to be inspired. For example, like a mentor like you,
Mhm.
and like a leader like me, you know, the topics which you choose is very important topic, which we see are topics that could be spread,
Absolutely.
to the residents of the community, so that they could be able to understand the great topic of media influence in the society and beyond. Because, for example, like there are like the elders, like the in our time, the elders were not so acquainted with the media,
Mhm.
you know, and it comes in today's time whereby the generation Z, that's the generation now, they are the master of the media. They are the one at times who educate the elders.
Mhm.
That, for example, like as I was giving you an example, like the literacy program, for
Yes.
seniors, it's a program whereby the young generation come back and give back to the older generation in terms of helping them master the art of social.
Technology and
Yeah.
social
So
media.
so with your program again, with bringing all the truth, real conversation, healthy conversation, all this help inspire and causes one to say, I could do this podcast. I have an idea. I could sit down one on one with you, so I could, uplift the cultural heritage
Mhm.
of my community through this form of art, or so that's how media really influence the uplifting of the cultural heritage of the community.
And I think you touched on a couple of things there that are very important. I feel like because I'll talk to people and they'll be like, "Yeah, I'll come for a conversation, but can I wear a mask or something? Can I?"
Yeah.
And um, I'm definitely not a perfect individual.
Yeah,
I
no
was
one.
telling you like
Yeah, no one
last
is
week we were
perfect.
supposed to record this episode and I ended up recording by myself, but I got the audio and I didn't get the video. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
I
Like
remember. Yeah.
mistakes happen, errors
Yeah.
happen. I know even we're talking with Jen, she was talking about doing edits with it, and I don't want to actually edit this. I want this conversation to be as generic as possible, as organic as possible,
Yeah.
because that's where solutions come from sitting and having conversations and spitballing ideas. It's not you just sit there and the first idea that comes to mind is the one that works and you execute and it goes perfectly and everybody's joyful and
Yeah.
happy. And that's where, to circling back to media, I think that's where media has been dangerous to a sense, is they've polished and edited stuff so much that people tend to think you have to be perfect at what you're doing, or everything has to go right, or don't even display or talk about it
Mhm.
because they're afraid of the embarrassment that might come with it.
And a point again, like understanding social media again, um, you have to have a strong mental health awareness.
10,000%.
Yeah, you are able to capable of spotting fake.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, because these are some of the bad side of social media. Because for example, like Facebook is a part of a platform again, like especially the seniors, they are somewhat more vulnerable to hackers, and
Mm-hmm.
who try to prey on the people who are media somewhat illiteracy towards iPod and computers,
Mm-hmm.
so they scam them. So this is whereby like some people get scammed and they never say anything because they're afraid
Embarrassed.
to embarrass because they made a mistake, and
Mm-hmm.
you know but in the right way, some people come out and say, okay, they tried this and they make a mistake, and then it's right to correct it. So for example, this is whereby having this podcast again, that's whereby people who are totally loyal
Mm-hmm.
to the community, loyal to sharing their experience, what they've been through, because life is an experience, loyal to come to the podcast and educate the youths, educate the seniors, and because no one is too old to be educated. Everybody
Absolutely,
have
man.
stages. So
Correct.
yeah, so the podcast, it's very inspiring to the reaching to the community.
I appreciate
Yeah.
that. I was just about there was something that you said there that it kind of sparked an idea and I lost it for a second.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, I was talking about, to recap, I was talking about, let's say, like this social media and the elders. Yeah,
no,
having a
and
good mental.
thank you for saying that because it did spark the idea.
Yeah,
But I remember you started off by talking about mental health,
yeah.
and I some I'm no physician. I don't have any training in the field or whatnot, but I feel a lot of issues stem from lack of self love.
Hmm.
Like I feel like if people actually love themselves for the individual that they were, it would cure a lot of what plagues us,
Yeah.
right? A lot of what we supplement with medications and pharmaceuticals and foods and all of this. We supplement all of this stuff from
Yeah.
in my opinion a lack of actual self love and appreciation,
Hmm.
right? And I think it took me a long time to actually get to this point, but I'm so in love with myself, it's ridiculous. Some
Yeah.
people might say it's obnoxious, it's cool, I'll accept that. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It isn't for everybody.
Yeah, because if, for example, like a mental example, like mental health example
Hmm.
again, like most, if you look at it in today's world, most students or other individual, let's say if there is a question which is posed, for example, give me a history of Canada. They don't really go to a book or
Yeah.
to sit down and have the time to read or sit down and think about you know about Canada.
Hmm.
They go straight to the iPod and they pull up what is called, so the
And
artificial intelligence now actually do the work instead of using their own natural brain
it,
to master solving problems.
yeah, I
You
feel
know,
like
so
I feel like that speaks to easy button
yeah.
mentality.
Push
Um,
button wall, like we are living in a push button wall. You just push the button and
hmm
you know.
But I think what I'm kind of pushing towards is more of and you highlighted it, like
Yeah.
it takes something within you to acknowledge, you know what, I don't know this information. I don't know this information. Let me go and ask Alban, because
Yeah.
Alban might know.
Mhm.
Most people will just be like, man, I don't want to ask Alban because Alban will think I'm stupid and he won't think I won't know nothing. And then, he might tell so and so and they're going to all think I'm stupid. I'm just not going to say anything. I'm just going to fake it like I do or try and avoid the scenario. And when I say self love, I mean
Mhm.
have enough love for yourself to know, like, there's nothing to be embarrassed about. What you don't know, how can you help what you don't know? You don't know it.
Mhm.
And there's only one way to figure that out is to open your mouth and say, you know what, I'm sorry, I don't know what you're talking about. Can you please explain that to me?
Because self love, as you say, is like a foundation for having a strong mental health awareness.
Strong
Yeah.
mental health, some confidence, and is loving yourself enough to know, you know what, I'm good at this. I'm not too good at that. I need some help with this. Maybe let
Yeah.
me ask that person,
Mhm.
right? And then when you ask for that help, that individual, in my opinion, if they love themselves, will have zero problem helping you out
Yeah.
and not making you feel a way about not knowing. It's the folks that lack love for themselves that use that in my opinion, use that as an opportunity to ridicule you and put you down so they can make themselves feel better.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Right? That,
Yeah.
again, I'm no physician.
I know.
I've got no PhD. I'm not a therapist or anything of that nature. This is
Yeah.
just my opinion based off my observations and conversations with people
Yeah.
over the years.
Yeah. Because some people like with mental health
Hmm.
issues.
Hmm.
Let's say for like mental health disorders.
Hmm.
You know, some of them use social media. No matter they have the disorder whereby they don't reach any form of suicidal.
Hmm.
Some of them got the programs which they watch on social media. So you see, even though the men who are in disorder,
That's
social
a very good
media
point.
plays a role to them.
That's a very
Yeah,
good point.
even though the physical person don't bring the form of empathy to them, but social media bring a
Yeah,
form of empathy
I've
to the average individual, because we must also remember that we are living in a society whereby not everybody have the same equal opportunity.
correct.
We everybody have freedom, but some people freedom are limited. You know, some people on the narrow road they fall on the side of the road. You
Hmm.
know, and then with podcasts, podcasts highlight some of the struggle which the individual goes to.
Hmm.
The individual might not be here, but along some conversation along the road, their name pop up,
Yeah.
and someone could talk about being homeless, being seeing people being homeless, seeing the empathy, seeing some of the gratitude which people have given to them, seeing the bad side of
Hmm.
the advantage. So in other words, so social media, as we say again, it have an influence on the society, you know. So we don't only highlight the good of the society, we even highlight the bad of society. And that's the point whereby some people struggle to come to open up,
Hmm.
you know, because of
Can't hide on a
communication
podcast.
and because of stigmas.
Yes.
Stigma play a very important role because
Mhm.
of stigmatized but then since that as we say they are not in person yet we talk for them.
Yeah.
So that's whereby social media, it have the influence, it have the truth, it have the message,
Yeah.
yeah.
Um, hmm. Yeah, no, podcasts are one of my favorite thing about podcasts and why I got so into podcasts over the years, listening to them, watching them, whatever the case, is you can't hide on a podcast. You know what I mean? Like you can edit it to a certain extent, but at some point in time, like it's just you in conversation. There's no outfits to hide behind. There's no cars. There's no jewelry. There's no people to hide behind. It's just you and whoever's in that room and the microphone in
Yeah,
that
because
conversation.
it's not artificial, it's not
Mhm.
AI,
Mhm.
it's
It's not curated.
yeah, it starts coming straight from the individual heart and communication whereby it could uplift the culture of the community, it could uplift the cultural
Mhm.
heritage, the history, it could inspire, it could
Yeah,
educate,
and it's it's
yeah,
it's unscripted, which
yeah,
is
yeah,
extremely important. Like
yeah, important,
a lot of what we watch, like it's all right, we're gonna say
yeah.
this now. This person's gonna do this and da 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 da. So we get this reaction. It's very strategic. Whereas with podcasts, like
Yeah,
the conversation just goes as the conversation
yeah,
goes.
because that's why like a topic going back to topic in media influence, it plays a vital role because, for example, media cover not only iPod, it cover or a different aspect of,
Absolutely.
but the much more powerful is the word of the mic.
Hmm.
It's natural. It's pure.
Yeah.
It's whereby the individual comes and educate the society.
Hmm.
Rap one on one. You know with friendly conversation. That's whereby the
Hmm.
iPod is inspiring because, for example, like during COVID, iPod play podcast.
Hmm.
You know, play a very important role during the COVID. Yeah,
Absolutely.
very important role.
It,
Yeah.
during COVID, that's
Yeah.
where social media made its biggest transition because, of course, now everybody couldn't really go outside and socialize. Da, 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 da. So
Yep.
you tapped into your phone a lot more, and it
Mhm.
gave it a
Mhm.
lot of a stronghold,
Yep.
which is it, like everything. Everything is a double-edged sword. So there's the beauty to it,
Yep.
and then there's the bad side to it,
Mhm.
and the unfortunate side is people got way invested in the media world, and that became reality versus
Yeah.
actual reality. And finding the balance is tricky.
And a part of inspiration had again like with the social media influence. For example, we got the iPod, we got the TV,
Hmm.
we got other devices,
Hmm.
and what
Connected at all
yeah,
times.
what's so majestic about it now? For example, like the youths in today's time, because I know this is the generation in terms of the media, development. Yeah, they could assembly. For example, they could hook up the iPad, hook it up to a computer, play games.
Hmm.
Some of the youths, they are capable of repairing the iPad. you know so not only they use it as a form of looking at it and
Hmm.
getting artificial intelligence sending out email, they actually goes to the belly of it, like they could able to repair it. So you see now the media,
Mhm.
it have ways whereby it stretches arms not only beyond different things which you want to see, but there are others who are masters, and that's one good thing which I like, and which, in terms could be implemented like a program you have, like someone come and they so well, I know you are the mentor for that, because most of the when we have all the programs, you are the one.
Yeah.
This wire is for here. This wire is for here. So they don't
Yeah,
only they are capable of mastering.
Mhm.
So that's a very important tool.
I think so. We're getting closer
Yeah.
to end time now, so we're gonna wrap shortly. But I think something that you mentioned that is extremely important that I want to highlight is these youth are mastering this technology,
Mhm.
but I'm hoping that they understand that they are masters of the technology,
Yes.
right? And not to be slaves of it.
Mhm.
Like they can break it down, they can tear it apart, they can rebuild it, they can upgrade it, they can do whatever, but they have the capability to do that.
Mhm.
And making sure that's understood versus being the slave of it and dependent on it is, I think, something that is very vital in their understanding of utilizing social media and all of these different devices and whatnot, because we're more connected to devices than ever before in history. Well, in the history that I know of,
Yep.
we're super connected to devices. Um, but I feel like it's not to an advantage right now. We're not taking advantage of it.
Mhm. Yep.
But
Yeah, because it's to close with this quote now. There is a quotation quote by Martin Luther.
Mhm.
It said, "Don't stay at the bottom of the stairs and look at the stairs at the top. You got to climb the stairs to see what is at the top of the stairs."
Absolutely.
So in our podcast, I wish that the community should don't stay at the bottom of the stairs and look. They should come to the podcast and climb right up to the top of the stairs. Thank you
Yeah.
very much for having me, and I wish you the best, and hoping to see you on the next podcast. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Alvin. Like I said, man, I appreciate you so much. You were like number one support in my vision. You are the
Thank you
number one
thank
supporter
you
in the
very much.
community of anybody who is doing whatever and anything, man. You always pop up. You always show your love and show
Yep.
your appreciation. So thank you, sir. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thank you very much.
So yeah, folks, it's another episode of Let's Start the Conversation podcast. Episode 4, but you know, we're building. We're getting somewhere with it. Thank y'all for tapping in. Again, reach out if you want to sit down on an episode just like Alvin and have a conversation. You can do so live and in person, or if you want to tap in on Teams, I can send you a link. Just make sure you reach out to me, oso@alexparkcc.org, or come into the building and speak to myself, or get some of the other program staff to get your contact information so I can get in contact with you. And let's get this conversation started, culture on culture. And that is a wrap. Ones and twos.